how you know that you did everything correctly and that your manifestation is inevitable, and also what Neville Goddard said about the Sabbath State. Hi and welcome to Know It Into Being. I'm so happy that you found this channel because that means that your manifesting is leveling up right now. From now on, your manifestations will be so super easy, faster and better than ever before. In today's video, I'm talking about my take on the Sabbath State, but also, of course, Neville Goddard's. And today I will also read from one of Neville's books. This is gonna be very, very powerful. This will make you know how you can actually tell if you did enough and if your manifestation is already in the bag and is absolutely inevitable. And let me tell you, it already is. Usually the best way to know that you did everything correctly is when you actually feel satisfied. When you feel that you did enough and when you feel that your manifestation is in the bag already, when your perspective shifts and you get not triggered when you watch any kind of circumstance, or you can even see that circumstance as yet another proof that your manifestation is absolutely coming, then that is when you absolutely did everything correctly. When you feel content, when you feel at peace, like you wouldn't feel any urge to do more techniques. You feel good, you know that it is done, and you know that there is nothing you have to do, and you don't even have to worry about it anymore if you, for example, once think negatively about it, because you know that it doesn't matter anymore because you did enough, and your techniques and everything you already did are so powerful that having a negative thought here and there is not relevant at all. You will know that it will not matter and you will not care, and it will be very easy for you to go back to that state of the wish fulfilled and knowing that it is in the bag already. There is nothing you have to do. Your manifestation is already decided. It is already 100% certain. Your manifestation is inevitable. If you feel that way, then you will absolutely receive what you are manifesting. If nothing can throw you off, if you can look at a circumstance and just know that it doesn't matter because your manifesting is so powerful that those circumstances are completely irrelevant, or if you can even have a mindset shift from which you can know that the circumstance is just yet another proof that your manifestation is coming, then that is super powerful, and then you will absolutely manifest, and then you know that you did everything correctly. People often ask me this question, how do I know if I did everything correctly? And actually this video was also inspired by a viewer's question. If you reach that balance, if you reach that calm and confident knowing that your manifestation is inevitable, that there is nothing you have to do, that you even have a mindset shift in which you can see a circumstance and know that it is totally irrelevant because you're manifesting it anyway, then you will absolutely manifest that. And I think this is the easiest way you can tell that your manifestation is coming and is in fact actually really inevitable. If you impregnated your subconscious mind with that realization that your manifestation is 100% sure, you will feel satisfied and you will feel good and safe and you will not worry about it anymore. You wouldn't even think that thought. If you think that you have to think about it, if you did it right, then maybe you should learn to relax about it or do more of your wonderful techniques with fun and joy until you feel satisfied and until you actually know that it is inevitable. So I think that is very important. Once you feel good and safe and secure and content and you are really confident in your manifestation, then it is really done and it is in the bag already, and then your manifestation will unfold no matter what. And if it doesn't happen immediately, don't get discouraged, don't get distracted. Sometimes manifestations take a while to unfold, but it doesn't matter, because if you get it, you get it, and if you get it tomorrow or if you get it in 3 months from now is also totally irrelevant. And if you can go into the feeling of that satisfaction of your manifestation in your imagination first, then you will actually feel so satisfied that you don't even need it to happen immediately in the 3D. So just be confident and know there's nothing to worry about and there is nothing you have to do. And once you fall out of that state, actually is also not a big deal. If you fall out of this Sabbath state, or if you fall out of that knowing or the state of the wish fulfilled, remind yourself of that certainty. Remind yourself that you know how secure and confident you can feel about it. Just remember that feeling, how you felt about it just one day ago when you were certain that your manifestation is coming, and you can easily go back and just remember that. And you can, of course, also affirm for it if you want, or go back and do another technique, whatever technique it is that brings you into that feeling again, and then just relax about it and forget about it. Another way is if you drop out of that feeling, then you can also just know that it doesn't matter, because everything you did before that is so powerful that it absolutely overrides any negative thought and any doubt. So if you have any doubt, and you just know, okay, it doesn't matter because I did so much already, I already felt so satisfied and confident, and I already knew that my manifestation is coming, so if I have a doubtful thought right now, it doesn't matter at all, and it will manifest anyway. And this is how I always know when things gonna happen, and if I have this feeling and if I have this knowing, then things are actually always happening. The law works, trust me, it is just a matter of how good you can align with that. And if you can, the law works basically always. Now, long story short, let's look at what Neville Goddard actually himself said about the Sabbath state. I have this Neville Goddard reader here, which I can highly recommend. There are several different versions of this out there. They have different cover designs, but in the end, they all contain the same. And that is all of Neville Goddard's written lectures. So let's look what Neville Goddard said about the Sabbath state. What Neville Goddard said about the Sabbath state is written in his book called Freedom for All, and it is in chapter 5, and that chapter is even called the Sabbath. Freedom for All is a quite well-known work of Neville Goddard, but maybe not so many people actually know this. This is chapter 5 of Freedom for All from Neville Goddard. There is always an interval between the fixed impression or subjective state and the outward expression of that state. The interval is called the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a mental rest which follows the fixed psychological state. It is the result of your 6 days of work. The Sabbath was made for man. This mental rest, which follows a successful conscious impregnation, is the period of mental pregnancy, a period which is made for the purpose of incubating the manifestation. Automatically, you keep the Sabbath a day of rest, a period of mental rest. If you succeed in accomplishing your 6 days of work, there can be no Sabbath, no seventh day, no period of mental rest until the 6 days are over, until the psychological adjustment is accomplished and the mental impression is fully made. And he also says these 6 days are not 24-hour periods of time. They symbolize the psychological moment. A definite subjective state is fixed. These 6 days of work are subjective experiences and consequently cannot be measured by our usual time. For the real work of fixing a definite psychological state is done in consciousness. The time spent in consciously defining yourself as that which you desire to be is the measure of these 6 days. A change of consciousness is the work done in these 6 creative days. A psychological adjustment which is measured not by the time, but the actual subjective accomplishment. So it's not about the time. Those 6 days are not literal 6 days. This is not like 6 days out of 7 of 1 week. These 6 days are just a metaphor for that period in which you impregnate your subconscious mind with the wish fulfilled. And the Sabbath is also not one day. It is the state in which you already know that your manifestation is sure and you don't even have to do any techniques anymore. That is what Neville Goddard means by that, and that seventh day is just a metaphor for knowing that you did enough and for not worrying about it anymore and for basically letting go and dropping the topic altogether, or just knowing that you've done enough and that it's in the bag already. So Neville also sees it that way. Once you impregnated your subconscious mind, there is nothing you have to do and nothing you have to worry about. Then your manifestation is absolutely certain. If you want to know how easy manifesting can actually be, then click here and watch my playlist on how to manifest the easy way. And if you want to make your SP obsessed with you instead of obsessing over them, click here and watch my SP playlist. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being you. You want it, you got it. Happy manifesting and see you very, very soon.